kayaking. It's truly all in a day's work for Ben Kvanli. Ben, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me, because you truly wear many different hats in this community. First and foremost, father, community member, activist. I mean, you are out there front and center, really trying to preserve and protect what we have here, which is really commendable. Outside of that, I'd love for you to highlight what you do at the Olympic Outdoor Center.
Well, it's a nonprofit, and it started after I competed in the Olympics. I wanted to give back. My little brother was in some trouble, and so I wanted to get kids around him that had goals, and help them to focus and learn how to live, how to achieve things. And
Right.
so that expanded. My mom worked for the VA Medical Center when the war started. We saw a lot more patients coming in with severe injuries, things that they'd have never survived in other wars. And so we've expanded to incorporate them. Like you said, this is all just a passion for me. The way that I was taught being a missionary kid was that you're not here just to make a dollar or to eat good food. You're here to make an impact. And so I try to do that in whatever way God asks me to. I just say I show up, and he shows me the way.
And you do it. Well, I think it's really neat to see you. I know you kind of shared your story about being a former Olympian, some of those struggles with your family, and then out came this beautiful nonprofit. So when folks come, I want them to realize that it's you and your family. You're inviting us in to your residence, really.
Yeah.
You're sharing your little piece of paradise. So show people what that's like. When they come and they want to learn to paddle and get on the river, what is that like out there?
Well, especially now that I have a daughter and, the glass bottom boats, it's unbelievable, this treasure that we have. I can't imagine being anywhere else. Literally when I think about going on vacation, I'm just like, well, that wouldn't be as fun as home. That wouldn't be as fun as home.
Yes.
That would be interesting, but I think I could do that at home.
That's really true.
I really, truly love this place. It's the gateway to the hill country, but more than that, the fault line, the spring, it makes this community it's everything, all the best features of Texas in one little place.
Yeah, it's a standout and a showstopper for sure. So let's talk about this thing in the background, the San Marcos River. So, what makes it unique compared to other rivers that you've been on? Because I'm sure you've whitewatered and
I love to travel too.
Yeah,
I do.
You've been everywhere.
And getting to represent the U.S. on the national team, I got to paddle on rivers all over the world. And the one thing that's very different about paddlers here than other places is in other places you expect the water to be cold. So on a cool, crisp fall day, you would never see someone from Colorado try to put their hands in the water to warm up.
Okay. Yes, that's fine.
But you will see that everywhere with us.
Okay.
Like we go to glacier melt and we'll put our hands in the water thinking we're gonna warm up, and we're like, whoa, because the water is 72 degrees no matter what. It's the same temperature that I keep my car in my house if I can, if Texas lets me.
Yeah, year round. Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. It feels cool in the summer, it feels warm in the winter, and so we've had people come from all over the world to train and kayak here because it's so comfortable, and of course first world amenities. It's inexpensive to live here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and this can be year round for sure. So I guess secondly, what do the proceeds go to? Because this is what I really want to highlight. You're making huge strides and differences in people's lives, and veterans. How awesome is that?
It's a powerful thing that, these guys get blown up in some foreign place. In any other war, they would have never survived.
Right.
They wake up here in San Antonio, and not all of them are happy about that. They were there to fight. They were there to have adventures. And they get here, and they think life is not going to be the same.
Right.
And so the cool thing is, A, we get them out of the hospital, but more than that, when they're in the water, everybody's kind of on an even playing field. And so, I don't know, my best story is the guys that had arm amputations. I've been told not to do this for forever, this isn't safe, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But we got kayaking into the Paralympics.
Okay.
And at that time, it was right at that time that I had a bunch of arm amputees come. And again, they said, don't do that, that's not safe. come
it
full
anyways.
circle. It worked out. God, like, he just puts me in these positions. I mean, one of the guys, Sebastian Gallegos, he lost his arm in a canal in Baghdad. So, I mean, he was never going to get in the water again.
Right.
The last thing he remembers seeing is his arm and then drowning.
Yeah.
So when he came, I had another guy had lost 3 limbs, and he got him into it, and everybody was like, they're not going to be able to do it. The opposite was true. They were the best, because with their prosthetics, they used their core. They couldn't cheat like us with our elbows.
Gotcha.
And so right out of the gate, they were the fastest, and in fact, they got kicked out of Paralympics 2 years later because they said it was an advantage.
Oh, wow.
I mean, is that awesome or what? Like, they didn't have to
Wow.
use energy to hold on to the paddles, what they said. Those guys were super proud, you know. I mean, they're
Yes,
just tough,
yeah.
and you know, they said, yeah, we showed you.
That's a pretty amazing story for sure, and I'm sure that changed, you know, just their mentality about their capabilities.
Right. I mean, they were in a dark place. I mean, I had talked to
Yeah.
his wife many times. I talked to, you know, chaplains, all kinds of his different therapists, and we just couldn't get him out. I mean, just couldn't get him out. You know, he was in a dark place. And then, you know, to see him like become an athlete, to become, you know, this super powerful and impactful human being. You know, we've had several that have medaled in the Paralympics, not only in kayaking, but in other sports where they used kayaking as their a way of training, but like biathlon, for instance, Andy Soul won the silver medal in Vancouver. And so anyway,
That's neat.
it really is. I
So
mean,
neat.
you take guys who, you know, they don't even want to talk, and then you turn them into
Right.
spokespeople for, you
Yeah.
know,
I mean, in essence,
the
you've
military,
given them
for
everything
sport.
back
Yeah.
again, just for, you know, an experience on the water. So Ben, what else do you offer? If folks come onto your property and they're looking for a fun day at the river, what can you give them?
So it's the only place in San Marcos that you can have a barbecue on the river, and so a lot of people come just so that they can, you know, bring their dogs and have a birthday party or whatever. You know, it's the #1 place in Hays County for birthday parties right now.
That's a good thing to highlight. Yeah, I didn't thought about that actually.
And then you know, our glass bottom tours, you know, going out at night with the lights and this clear water is just awesome. We do you know, regular kayak and paddleboard rentals, and we also do adventure trips. We take people all over the world if they really get into kayaking.
Cool. And I must say too, the plug here for me as a parent is, you know, just making sure water safety was something that's addressed, and y'all totally cover that with my kids. Because I think living with this in our backyard, that's something to kind of keep in mind. Peace of mind too, you know, for kids who are attracted to water.
Yes.
So get
Yeah.
them started early and get them educated. So where can folks find you?
So, you know, all of our people are certified through the American Canoe Association, and so you can go to American Canoe and, you know, you can look us up that way. You know, locally we're known as Cabana SMTX, and so you can see us on Facebook or Instagram that way. And then our kayakinstruction.org is where we do our safety training.
Perfect. And open year round?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Ben, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for taking the time to be with me here today so we can highlight all the wonderful things that you bring to San Marcos. So just know that we appreciate your time and your effort.
Well, thanks for inviting people.
Appreciate it. I'm Kimberly Adams, a realtor with McNabb & Co. Real Estate Services. And if you're looking to buy or sell, I'd love to chat and help you discover San Marcos.